Hello, and welcome to another wonderful practical episode of Learning with Jerome, the podcast where we both learn about how to build a business, invest, and ultimately a magnificent life with incomplete information and incomplete understanding. Yes, I'm talking about entity system that thrive by capitalizing and using disorder cluster such as mistakes, errors, time, the unknown, uncertainty has fuel for improvement. I am your host Jerome Gassa from optionalityprofit.com. I have another exciting, insightful, practical episode to share with you. After all, a little bit of agitation gives motivation to the soul, and what really makes the species prosper is not peace so much as freedom. And from the same line, my mentor, the magnificent and best risk analyst alive today, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, put it best this way: this is one life's packages. There is no freedom without noise and no stability without volatility. Welcome to you, guy. Predictability of uncertainty. Let us talk today about data analytic. Namely, let us talk about unpredictability by following the logical steps. First and foremost, do you believe that we can use data to predict systematically what is going on? Please write down your answer. And second question, are you aware of something we call wall of finance in Wall Street, for example, or in London, or in Frankfurt am Main in Germany? Third question, how many correlation metrics or data do we have in 2007 before the financial crisis in the United States? How large it was, how big it was. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. Before the financial crisis of 2007, we have between 500 million and 1 billion correlation we had in finance. These are the data that we have, the correlation matrix we have in the world of finance. And guess what? Nobody knew what the hell is going on out there. And most importantly, the pundits and experts, they didn't have a clue of what was going on. So, as direct conclusion, data is not what we needed or wanted. Just as a good friend of mine, who is actually a mentor, went to Washington to testify against spending more money on data, since we get confused by data. The congressman told him, "Sir John, when you cross the street, you don't look. What do?" He said, "You pay attention." The congressman said, "When I cross the street, I pay attention to people, to what people are doing, if there are cars coming or people are." My dear friends, Mr. John told him, "Mr. Congressman, with your honor, when I cross the street, personally, I remove data because you have billions of information. All what I'm interested in is crossing the street. I'm not interested in the eye color of drivers, what is their intention, how are they dressed. I am only interested in large items that are moving. That's it." Hence, this is, by the way, Via Negativa. For those of you who haven't listened Via Negativa, I will recommend you to just stop this podcast and go back and please listen to Via Negativa. And by the way, Via negativa is decision making by subtraction, by removing what not to do, what to avoid. Just as we live long by not dying, right? The opposite of life, of being alive, is being death. Another way of saying it is, if you can survive, you can grow. This is, by the way, by Warren Buffett. Okay, now, but I would hugely recommend you to go back and please, for those of you who haven't listened via negativa, please go ahead and listen quite carefully this episode and take a lot of notes. You see how the best out there, meaning Warren Buffett, since the beginning of time, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Michelangelo Buonarroti, all of them, you will see how they make their decision. And just to nudge you, if you ever read the Bible, you will see that religion is not about, I'm not digressing, but I'm just trying to remain in the context of via negativa. You will see that religion is not so much about spirituality or about giving advice. Religion is about interdict, meaning what not to do. Just read the 10 Commandments. You will see that 8 out of the 10 are about what not to do. Right? The best in the world act that way, not by adding, by removing. Okay, let me keep going. The financial crisis, after the financial crisis, meaning the event, we human, we are very good at looking through the review mirror with the firm conviction we are looking straight ahead. In another word, we have the inability to prospectively predict and the ability to retrospectively predict. This is a problem of human nature that we find in social science, but not in hard science. Yeah, we human, we are very good at narrating things back, which gave us the illusion that we can predict the next one, when in reality we weren't even able to predict the previous one. Now, let me keep going. I'll give you another example. Take the Skinner box experiment from B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner took a pigeon and put in a box and fed the pigeon randomly. Over time, the bird thought by standing on one leg it was fed last time, it does it again, it will be fed again. What I'm saying is that we humans have a strong tendency to immediately establish the cause too quickly, and even when we do not have reason to establish cause. Yes, we favor the visible, the tangible, the well-narrated, and we scorn the abstract. So, the most important point I want you to take from this very short podcast are 2 points. Number one, we are shifting from predictive method to the assessment, to the effect of something you are exposure. In another word, are you fragile or are you robust to certain class of exposure? Why? We live in a world that has become more and more complex due to globalization and internet, right? We have a rise of unpredictability and a high decrease of predictability. Even most experts out there are going to squeeze everything in mediocrity, meaning in a world that is certain. Keep in mind, I always say this, uncertainty doesn't look uncertain. In another word, randomness doesn't look random, right? It is like the story of the turkey. A turkey is fed by for 1,000 days. Every day confirmed to the turkey that the butcher loved the turkey with increased statistical confidence. Keep in mind, 1,000 days means more than 3 years. And what's happened 2 days before Thanksgiving is never a good idea to be a turkey. The turkey became a dead meat, right? Hence, randomness doesn't look random. Put in another word, the turkey is someone who is facing something unpredictable that he thinks. That's it. Hence, randomness doesn't look random. So, the one big idea to take away here is that fragility is vastly more important in place of predictive analytic, in a sense where fragility is much more measurable and much more rigorous approach, but than by trying to confuse people by making prediction that cause people to take more risk, right? Because when most people are giving you programs that tell you if you do this, you'll get this. Basically, this is prediction. They're giving you knowledge, but the knowledge turned out to be fragile. What I'm trying to say here is the knowledge turned out to be fragile in a sense where if you bring someone, let's say like me, I can counterfactually to really prove that this cannot explain exactly what the person is trying to let you know, and in practical term is not going to give you the end result. But in the meantime, after listening to this program, I will just say to you, please just switch to the next one. The next one is vastly even more important and is an addition to this one. Thank you very much. You were born to win and you are magnificent. Thank you. Apply this gemstone on a continuous basis in your life. Not only you experience and feel, be in charge of your life, and most importantly, you start also to feel what we call a duty life. You are a magnificent. Hey friends, it's Jerome. I hope you enjoy this episode. Do to both of us 2 favors. Number 1, please subscribe in this channel by clicking the red button subscribe. So by joining me, you continue to get update every time I release a new training for you. Second, if you want to increase your productivity by 50% every single week, yes, you heard it right, a 50% increase of your productivity every single week, and want to achieve your goals, your dream in a much faster and easier and simpler way, you and I know it requires a new thinking, a new paradigm shift, a new set of ritual, a new set of habit, a new set of pattern. So your entire approach must be based on convex experimentation. In order to make that possible, just go ahead and click the link below. It is optionality profit, and download this guide for free. This guide I use to achieve all my big goals. I'm still using them, and my highest paid clients are the ones using it today. Just tell me your name and your email. I am happy to email you right away, free. Thank you for tuning in again. Until I see you next time, make a difference like a magnificent. Thank you guys.